Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister, and he said, I will introduce computers in bank.
Some leaders don't just build companies, they build legacies.
Equity in Naukri and move full-time into Naukri without a job in Naukri.
In this episode, we sit down with Sanjeev Bikhchandani and Hitesh Oberoi, the visionaries behind InfoEdge, to uncover what it truly takes to create great teams and enduring cultures.
People work for the company because they want to work with you.
And that is what keeps people going.
People don't leave a company. They leave the immediate bosses.
And as the world enters the age of AI, they open up about the exciting future ahead.
And we are very sure that we want to invest in AI.
You're getting more work done.
We have 800 AI models running in the company right now.
Should we downsize people?
Trust. We have with us today Sanjeev Bikhchandani and Hitesh Oberoi. Hi Sanjeev. Hello Hitesh.
Hi.
Sanjeev, InfoEdge has built a culture where people stay for decades. Some of them have been with the organization from day number one. What's been the secret to earning that kind of loyalty and trust in an age of high churn?
So, we didn't overthink this culture a bit, at least not in the beginning. It just happened.
Yeah.
What individually, I think, in the beginning, Hitesh and me now, I think most other leaders in the company, what we do is we value people. If you value people and you make people feel valued, chances are they will stay.
People decide to stay.
So I recall till we were about 400-500 people, 600 people, Hitesh and I would know every person by name.
True.
And knew where they came from, what they were doing, and why they were here. And I recall, for instance, if somebody in Bombay resigned, Hitesh should fly down and retain that person. Or sometimes I would fly down, that was less frequent. Or the person would come to Delhi. But we would make all efforts to retain people. So I think in the beginning, it is the founders who are the glue in the organization. People work for the company because they want to work with you.
The relationship.
So you have to be the kind of person whom people want to work with.
Nice.
Okay. So it is the responsibility of every founder, entrepreneur, leader to be a personal magnet for talent. And people don't leave a company. They leave the immediate bosses or the immediate supervisors.
So that's the statement.
Okay. And so you may join a company because of the brand, because you think it's a good company, the image is good from outside. But you stay because you're happy with your immediate team. So your immediate team gets very important. So retention, therefore, is not the HR department's job.
Beautiful.
It is the immediate team's, immediate supervisor's job. So if you have a team leader in whose team people are regularly leaving, then there is something wrong in that team, possibly with the leader. Now, if you ask me about culture, so our culture, I think the one thing is that you can't grow so fast by being tightly centralized controlled. So you've got to empower people. They could be wrong, they could be right, but you have to empower them because otherwise you don't grow fast.
Correct. It's very slow. It's very well thought.
And therefore the culture is empowering, I like to believe. And second is, I like to believe that nobody in InfoEdge ever got sacked for disagreeing with his boss or her boss.
Okay.
So you can express your point of view.
Yeah.
Now that can be reasonably addictive. After 1 or 2 years, you find you don't fit in elsewhere.
Yeah.
Now it's not as if we don't lose people. I think in the first couple of years of somebody joining, we do lose people. Because this is a culture where, if you find you're not fitting in, you know very fast.
True.
Within a year or so, and you move on.
Sure.
Not every middle management, senior management manager who joins is used to a culture where the subordinates or his team can challenge him or her and disagree. And if you find that you can't deal with that, and you're not getting support from others around you, maybe you should be in a different place. That's what I believe. I don't know what Hitesh thinks about that.
Oh, okay. No. So, like Sanjeev said, I spend hours with people even today who approach me separately, say, listen, this is going wrong. I'm not happy with what is happening. Maybe you can get involved. This is not right. This is not how Naukri used to be. This is not how we were 5 years ago. Stuff like that, right? So please step in. So anyway, so it's that kind of culture. And I think also, and very importantly, we do very good work. We do very exciting work.
Yeah.
And that is what keeps people going, because people don't want to just stay in an organization if the organization is not doing anything.
True.
They want to make a difference. So if the organization is investing in the future, if the organization is innovative, if the organization is making investments, if the organization wants people to learn.
And there's loads of action like happening everywhere.
If they want people to upskill, that excites them and that motivates them, because they're also learning and they're growing along with the organization.
Correct.
So for example, Hitesh talked about innovation. I did not know how much work we were doing in analytics and AI and ML. And how suddenly we have, not suddenly, but suddenly I woke up and I realized that what we've done. And how did I find out? Somebody came to me to pitch for business from InfoEdge. The people approach me all the time. And he was running an AI, he was running analytics and AI kind of company. He was doing outsourced work for companies. And he said to me, the kind of work that InfoEdge is doing in AI analytics is quite incredible. And that's when I woke up and I had a look outside and what are we doing? And I came and I said, wow. So now there's a 130, 150 strong team in AI. Quietly it's been built up over the last 2, 3, 4 years. And I believe, as somebody who's seeing it half inside, half outside, because I'm not in operations actually, it's probably the best, largest and most innovative AI team in the country among all Indian internet companies.
That InfoEdge could boast of today.
And they've done 30, 40, 50, innovation, small, medium, big, and more coming out every week.
Not 30, 40, 50. They have 800 AI models running in the company
right now.
Yeah.
No, from 30, 40, 50 products.
But which AI is reshaping work, right? So there's rising anxiety, even with white-collared roles, right? Now, given all that, how is an InfoEdge balancing this whole innovation drive and the whole heartbeat thing that you have in your mind around innovation, but then also maintaining the workforce stability?
Yeah. So, see, every time there's a brand new technology, in my view, it creates opportunities. And it's truly transformative as a technology. And it is going to create immense opportunities for everybody.
Absolutely.
Now, yes, there are many aspects to AI. AI is a horizontal technology. Unlike many other technologies before, it impacts everybody, every function. So whether you're in marketing, whether you're in sales, engineering, name the function, you could get impacted by AI. You can actually leverage AI to do your job better, to do a lot more than earlier. And yes, AI will result in, like you said, it could result in people becoming more productive. And therefore, fewer people may be required to do what you were doing earlier.
Correct.
AI will also result in people getting stuff done faster, right? Because you could just...
Efficiencies go up, multiple.
Right? And you can just get stuff done faster, right? So if it used to take, let's say, 3 months to launch a feature, maybe you can now do it in a few days, right? Because of AI. So I think, so that's one aspect of AI. The other aspect of AI is many things which were not possible earlier will become possible because of AI. So problems which could not be solved earlier, it will be possible to solve them because of AI. AI, for example, I mean, take a state like Bihar, for example. I mean, underserved in terms of the number of teachers, the number of doctors. You can actually overnight transform Bihar, or any other state which is sort of lagging through AI, because, it can help you do all these things which were not possible earlier. So I think the limitation now is going to be how much can you imagine? Right? Because you're going to be limited only by your imagination.
Correct.
So whatever you can dream of, earlier maybe it used to take years to get done. Maybe now
it's like a supplement.
Right? Or in weeks, right? So I think, so that's the opportunity. And that's what, so sure, there may be some areas where we need less people than earlier, but there are many more areas and many more opportunities which will open up to us as a company because of AI. And we are very sure that we want to invest in AI. And we want to grab these opportunities, and we want to do a lot more using AI.
So there's one group where, let's say the CXOs are redesigning the whole hiring gamut. And there's one side where professionals are like very uncertain about what's going to unfold. What are those two tiny little bites of advice that you want to give to these two groups separately?
See, for CXOs, I think if you were thinking people earlier, I think when you design your organization, when you design or when you plan your roadmaps, etc., for the future, you need to think of human plus AI. That's a change, right? So you need to think of humans plus GPUs or human plus AI when you plan, when you organize, when you design for the future. And just if you just think like that, you will do things a lot very differently, right? So I'll just give you an example. We now we have a telesales team,
Correct.
and in one of our businesses, without
Okay.
naming the business, they used to call people who we thought were relevant, and
Sure.
there were many other people we were not calling because we felt that maybe it's not viable to call them.
They'll not, fit
Their
the
own
role.
etc. Now we are using AI to call them, right? We
Oh.
still have the humans calling the people they were calling earlier, and they call the high value sort of.
So you have like an avatar who's making a call.
Now
Of,
there are,
there's
there
a-
are AI is actually doing a few thousand calls a day, right? And it's pretty good, the
Yeah.
quality. So CXOs need to start thinking human plus AI when they design. As far as professionals are concerned, I think one use case is very clear, that everybody can become a lot more productive and a lot more efficient. So that's a more obvious use case, that everybody should use AI tools and to become more productive, faster and more efficient at what they do. But I think they should what AI is also going to help people do is enhance the scope. So if you are let's say a programmer, maybe you can also become a tester, right? If you are a designer, maybe you can also become a product manager.
Look at several dimensions and like upskill yourself.
So therefore you can do a lot more in adjacent areas, build capabilities using AI, which
Correct.
you perhaps thought you were not capable of earlier, right? So that I think would be my advice to professionals.
Sanjeev wants to write?
Yeah, see, I recall something that the late Dr. Pritam Singh once told me a few years back, maybe a decade or so back. He says, Sanjeev, great leaders don't just manage the denominator, they also manage the numerator. Now you can manage the denominator and get more productive and efficient and cut cost. And you can show higher EBITDA margins, that quarter, or you can manage the numerator and get growth. Right? Now what Hitesh was referring to was doing both.
Yeah.
Right? Can you get growth using AI? मुझे याद है 1985 में Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. He just become Prime Minister, and the nation was full of hope. And he said, I will introduce computers in banks.
Huge revolution.
Hold it. So now there was immediate, the bank unions, very powerful unions, All India Bank Employees Association. And at that time, banks were mostly nationalized banks.
Yeah.
They were up in arms that we will lose our jobs. Now, computers came in. Nobody lost jobs. People got more productive.
Yeah.
You did more business. You served your customers better. You served them faster. You got more reliability in the system. Now, I'm not saying that will happen every time, but I'm saying those are the nature of opportunities we look for. For example, one of the things that we are very sensitive about as a company, we don't like to sack people. Okay, so we have not sacked people in 2008 in the global financial crisis. We did not sack people in 2001 in the dot-com bust. We did not sack people when COVID happened.
Yeah.
Right? We are, of course, very fortunate that we have the kind of cash and margins and profits and revenue streams that we have the cushion to ride through difficult times and not sack people. But when AI is coming, one of the questions we always ask is, listen, I hope we're not letting go of people because of AI. So what Hitesh described, that we're calling people, using AI, you were calling the top 20% earlier using human beings. You're still doing that, but you're calling the next 40% using AI. So you're getting more work done using AI as opposed to letting go of people and managing the denominator. I think people who manage the numerator are optimists and they're going for growth. People who manage the denominator are looking at efficiencies only. You want to do a bit of both.
But I just have a slightly different point of view on this one. See, if tomorrow it makes sense to use AI for a lot of things for which we are using humans today, we will have to do that because we live in a very competitive environment. But what we will try and, of course, do is redeploy these people, reskill them, so that we can use them in many other areas.
Correct.
Because there is so much opportunity to grow as a company.
Immense.
So it may happen that, maybe all the telecalling tomorrow, for example, if it starts happening through AI, but can we find, other ways and means to use people.
True.
So there are so many things which we are not doing today.
Which we can pick up.
Which we can do, So that's the point I was making. See, you're only limited by your imagination. True. So if you can imagine it, you can do it. If you can't imagine it, then you can't do it.
And we've championed growth and stability, right? Now, either of you can take the question. And we've championed growth, we've championed stability. Now, what is that one thing that probably today's impatient leaders at times tend to overlook? Like, is there something that you want them to be mindful of?
I mean, be patient. No, my only advice to sort of leaders, especially young leaders, is sometimes they get impatient. I mean, every slowdown, every cycle we've been through, it's never lasted more than 4 quarters. It never lasted more than four
Okay.
quarters. Right. And I've seen people actually work really hard during slowdowns
Yeah.
because they're not distracted. Right. So some of our best output has been sort of produced or delivered during slowdowns. And slowdowns never last for long. Right? 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters.
It's a
So why
passing
do
phase.
you want to sort of
Sure.
sack people or let people go?
Wonderful.
And if you've, like I was saying, you can retrain, you can redeploy, you can reskill. It takes time, but it can be done. So some leaders are sometimes impatient. They want to take decisions quickly. They want to get there in 2 years. Uh, our sort of thing is, listen, it's more important to get there than to get there in 2 years because most people don't even get there. Right? So it's okay if you get there in 3 years.
So has there
To
been
take people along with you.
Has there been like a window where you kept like a struggling product or a team alive because you just had the thing that okay, no, something's going to show up?
Jeevan Sathi ka main har
That's a prime example.
so it's a business we've been running for more than 20 years, yet to make money, right? And I've come under severe pressure several times from the board,
On the board, yeah.
media, from investors. Okay, listen, why are you still at it? And my answer is simple. Till the time we have ideas,
Correct.
right? We are going to be at it. Till the time the team believes they can turn things around, they can win.
So there's this underlying thing about not giving up, right? Like taking a stab at least the best of ideas which are coming to the table and
See, a lot of, in the middle, a lot of the reason, see, Hitesh and I will be fighting this lone battle on the board often. Say, "Abhi, chal, karte hain, give us money, okay." And the truth was, very often we were doing more of the same in the middle. In 2001, .com meltdown happened. We had 16 months of money left. Telecom meltdown happened, 9/11 happened, right? That was the year when our principal competitor, Jobs Head, sacked 80 people. We hired 80 people. And why did we hire 80 people? Because of the experiment that Hitesh did, where we discovered that the average salesperson was making 28,000 rupees surplus on his own cost or her own cost and headed north. And we said, hey, this is a good model. So keep on adding more and more salespeople. So at the end of 2 years, we had 241 salespeople across 11 cities. The model used to be, we go into a city, hire a business center, what is now called co-working space, and was just a business center, hire 2 tables and put 4-5 people there and give them a target of 6 months to break even on their own cost, right? And they would do that. And so that's how we eventually moved to our offices, rented.
But now with 3 decades behind all of this, what is that one decision that if you had to take differently, what would that decision
Yeah, in hindsight, I would say we underinvested in tech early on. Maybe the right decision also because our first emphasis was sales because it is sales that saved the company. In the thing, but yeah, we were underinvested in tech, and that's because we did not have a full-time CTO founder at the top table. Is my view. I don't know what Hitesh's view is.
Yeah, so on hindsight, I think, and I didn't realize it that I think Naukri, the first few years, I mean, it was fairly smooth. I mean, many things could have gone wrong, but luckily for us, and thank God, we took the right calls. And a lot of things worked out. And I think what happened as a result was that when we got into these newer verticals, like Jeevan Sathi and 99 Acres, at least I felt, or maybe I thought, that even they would be very easy. Just like Naukri, because Naukri, actually, relatively speaking, on hindsight, and I look at so many other founders around us, so many other people who are trying to build companies, it's tough, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Right? I think we were lucky. It was relatively easier than a lot of other founders who see around us now. But as a result, what happened was, I perhaps felt that even Jeevan Sathi and 99 Acres will also be easy. And it's been 15, 17, 18 years and we are still trying to sort of, get there. So I think that perhaps was a wrong lesson learned. And if I could go back, maybe would do things a little differently in both 99 Acres and
Jeevan Sathi both. Okay. And in this entire journey, personally, like what's been like the most rewarding milestone as a professional then?
So in recent times, like I mentioned this, both Jeevan Sathi and 99 Acres. So last few quarters. And there was a point in time 2 years ago when we were losing 120 crores a year in 99 acres, 110 crores a year in Jeevan Saathi.
Jeevan Saathi.
We worked very hard with the Jeevan Saathi team and the 99 acres team,
Correct.
and we managed to turn both the businesses around. So now Naukri makes, of course, a lot of money for us, but both Jeevan Saathi and 99 acres are also cash positive, and they're growing reasonably well. So we managed to turn around. I mean, there was a point in time where we were like not sure whether these businesses would make it, but I think now they're both doing really well. In parallel, we're also trying to build a blue-collar job board, Job Hai.
Right.
That's also made a lot of progress in the last 4 years. We started monetizing. We're getting very good response. So I think, so this has been very fulfilling personally in the last 2-3 years. Of course, in the early years, there were many.
You were-
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so if there was like one specific principle, let's say that, okay, this is what has probably brought that success. What is that principle that you want to share credit with or give credit to?
I think one other thing which I very strongly believe it. We've discussed the culture piece, right?
Sure.
I think you need to be fair to the people you work with. That's very, very important. And you have to keep your promises. You should not make promises you can't keep. I think, and even with, let's say, with the world outside, so whether it's the investors or whether it's the employees inside the company, whether it's your customers, I think you have to, once you make a promise, you have to deliver. You have to meet your commitments. I think this, in the long run, really works. Because then people trust you.
Yeah.
And then they're willing to do anything for you. Because
Trust is a
they're
big one.
able to
Yeah.
be taken care of.
Yeah, like I like to think that Hitesh says it's like a very temporary phase, right?
Yeah.
If you get bogged down and
Even
like
COVID, I mean,
yeah,
sales
true.
were down 70% in 99 acres.
Correct.
And 50% in Naukri. But we were back in 4 quarters.
So
Yeah.
I recall a discussion internally, should we downsize people in COVID? And we said, no, yaar, it is wrong. This is the time when people never get jobs, they're panicking on COVID anyway. You can't let go of your people.
Yeah.
So we took a conscious call that we have enough cash in the bank. We did a further QIP to augment that cash. And we've, so the one question, we stress tested our balance sheet, and we said, if sales go down to zero and increments are zero and advertising is zero, how long will this cash last? And the answer the finance team came out with 3 years. तो हमने कहा बस 3 साल है, कुछ ना कुछ हो जाएगा, देखते हैं. So we didn't sack people.
I think वो एक ही चीज पे focus था, इसलिए it just happened that all the energies were invested there, right? Maybe another way of thinking about it, yeah. But Hitesh, if let's say you go back in time,
No, but if I go back, see, there was a crucial period.
yeah, Sanjeev.
The crucial period between 2000 April and 2003, those 2 years. See, that was when you had built up your costs because you had taken venture capital money and hired people in new office space. So your overheads were up. And in those crucial 2 years, if sales had not gone up, it would have been a big problem.
Troublesome.
That would have been a big problem. I think for that, I think the kind of leadership that Hitesh and his team showed, all the salespeople, of course, supported by marketing and product and engineering and everybody else and operations, but largely sales.
Largely sales.
That lifted the revenue.
So Hitesh, going back, if you were like 24 years again, yeah, so what is it that you would want to do? What is it that you had in mind? What will you do differently? Any thoughts on that?
What would I do differently today?
Yeah, if you were 24 years
If I was 24. So I was actually 27 when I, sort of did this with Sanjeev. So I was naive, I was ignorant. And given all I did according to Sanjeev, I should have negotiated a higher stock for myself, which I did not do. So maybe that's what I would do differently. I would have got more equity.
And Sanjeev would be glad to, oblige, yeah.
I'm not sure about that, but
No, because I read somewhere Sanjeev said that in the first 10 minutes that I met Hitesh, I felt that, there was this chemistry.
No,
I've
known
I
Hitesh.
read it somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
I've known Hitesh
Clarify.
since he was born.
Oh, you've known him since he was born? Oh my God.
So that's not the first time.
But when you met him, like for
He had come to me for advice, saying that, listen, I'm in Diva and I'm, all my friends are joining .coms. The exciting thing is
No.
Not then.
That's not true. So I actually was in Hindustan Lever. I was so I had an offer from somebody
Acha.
who was starting at .com to join him. So I had read somewhere, because maybe in the paper or somewhere, I don't know where, that Sanjeev was doing a .com,
Oh.
right? And I knew Sanjeev from earlier. So I actually went to him for advice
Oh,
on
okay.
on
that
that
offer.
company. On that
On that, they should I take this offer? You know, because this guy sort of wants to do a new startup.
And moving transfer to a factory.
And-
मैं फैक्ट्री जाऊंगा
नहीं, वो
ये अपने आप हो रहा है.
but he was doing a startup, and he was like, hey, listen, I'm looking to raise venture capital. And why don't you join me? So like I said, I was clueless, I was naive, I was ignorant. I had no idea of what ESOP was, for example. And this gentleman who was, of course, doing really well at that time said, listen, I'm going to give you ESOP. I said, hey, ESOP, kya? So let me go to Sanjeev for advice. So when I went to him, he was actually part-time. He was working at the Pioneer at that time and maybe running Naukri as well. And he was like, yeah, if you want to do something different,
What?
and why don't we do something together?
Oh,
So I was
that's
like,
how
okay.
it happened.
But yeah, when I said, but you're already doing Naukri.com, so what will I do? Because nobody understood how big the internet was going to be.
Correct, yeah.
Right? It was a
It was
tiny
getting
sort of
done,
thing at
yeah,
the time.
Correct.
He was, like I said, he was working at the Pioneer. I remember meeting him in the IT office at the Pioneer. And then he said, yeah, let's start another .com together. So I said, yeah, that sounds interesting. So actually, we started, or I joined to start another .com. So we worked out an arrangement where I would start another .com. It was called Bachao.com.
Acha.
Right? It was going to be about discounts and deals.
Okay.
And then this thing was running, Naukri.com was running separately. This was around August 99.
Acha.
This happened around August 99. But what happened was that, I was getting married. So I got married in November. I went to Hindustan Lever. They said, so Sanjeev said, अच्छा यार, करते हैं 2-3 महीने में. So I quit in November. They said, let's serve a 3-month notice, which is why I ended up finally joining in February.
Okay.
But what happened was, between the time I first discussed this with Sanjeev and I actually ended up joining him, the world outside changed. Suddenly there was venture capital interest in
Correct.
the .com space. Suddenly there were other .coms which started.
And the internet just swept every conversation to itself.
Yeah, and they were getting funded.
True.
And then Jobs Ahead, actually, which was a competitor in those days, they got funded. They raised a lot of money. And suddenly we realized that we also needed to raise money.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be very hard for us to survive.
Sustain, yeah.
Sanjeev actually also then quit his Pioneer thing. And VC were calling us, for the hot market.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't have a business plan. So we had to create a business plan and, submit a bill. We could imagine how big the business. See, like I keep coming back to your imagination. So we were like, achha, we are doing 2-3 lakhs a month. Maybe we can do 1 crore a month, or
4 years out.
4 years down.
4 years out and 1 crore a month, 12 crores.
So we wrote that business plan, and then the VC said, yeah, this is a very conservative plan. Itne mein to hum kaise funding karenge?
Bilkul.
But it was a hot market. Now in a hot market.
Yeah.
So we got funded. And the business plan was very conservative, and that actually helped us.
Yeah, because then, we never overcome it and underdeveloped.
Yeah.
We were always exceeding our plan.
So we were always ahead of our plan because it was a very conservative plan. And the money was actually supposed to come in tranches.
Correct.
The money we raised was supposed to come in tranche. It didn't come in one tranche. So because we were always ahead of our plan, we always got the next tranche.
See,
Right?
actually what happened was, हम MIS देरी से बेचते थे.
Correct.
Let's keep asking for money. So they gave us 3-4 tranches without understanding that we're not using the money, just putting fixed deposits in the bank.
Oh.
Because we were really scared कि बाकी tranche नहीं देंगे, because meltdown had happened.
True.
So we were scared कि बाकी आखिरी tranche नहीं देंगे वो, बाकी tranche. So we keep asking for money, they would give it. Then when MIS went, they said, what the hell is this? Okay, the last tranche came a year and a half after, later. Last tranche of 2 crores.
Okay.
As it happened, we didn't need that tranche, but we were desperate for it because, we weren't sure.
So, and because this happened, when we got funded, our investors said, listen, you have to shut down Bachao. Please, all of you move into Naukri
And then
and focus on
break out,
Naukri, make one thing happen. And that's how I swapped my sort of equity in Bachao with
and then moved.
equity in Naukri and moved full time into Naukri without a job in Naukri. Like, I don't know what I was going to do.
So after 3 weeks of joining, Hitesh said, I've observed things. You don't have anybody heading marketing. Why don't I head marketing?
Marketing.
Marketing is sales. I
नहीं, तो कोई याद नहीं. मैंने ये तो कमरे में बैठ के करते रहते हैं, कुछ होता नहीं.
Sales तो करके.
बाहर जाके कुछ करना पड़ेगा, ऐसे तो कुछ होगा नहीं.
I said, choose your job.
Thank you so much.
I said, choose your job.
So I was like, yeah, maybe let me just go out and meet a few customers and see what happens. And that's how this whole sales thing started.
So interesting. My God, how things have happened in the past. But what is it that today also gives you anxiety? Like, agar aaj koi ek cheez hai which is really keeping you very anxious. What is that? And then how do you handle it?
So it's, see, like I said, now it's been 25
Yeah,
years,
it's like,
we've seen a lot.
Most of it is
And,
that.
but the reality of life is that every time there's a major technology shift, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
And it creates opportunity, but it also creates a lot of disruption.
Correct.
So you want to be the disruptor, you don't want to be disrupted, right? So now we are in the AI sort of age. So I would not say anxiety, but what I worry about is there are enough people in the company who also tell me I should worry about it. A lot more than I worry about it. Okay. Are we doing enough? Right? Are we slow? Are we doing enough to make it to the next sort of level or not? Right? And that's it's a very hard one to answer. It's a judgment call. It's like you said, balancing innovation and stability.
Yeah.
Not easy. There are people who want to move very fast.
Correct.
There are others who are like, nahi, koi baat nahi.
Aram se.
Ho jayega, pehle bhi kiya humne, we'll do it again, right? So, that is sometimes, you wonder. And unlike the past few sort of big transitions and transformation, like the mobile boom and, before that, the internet, I think this one is moving very quickly
Very fast.
and very rapidly.
Yeah, for AI is different. AI is moving faster than I had imagined. I remember 1-1.5 saal pehle, I would be asked a question very often, what is AI going to do? And my answer would be the jury's still out, let's wait and watch. I'm not sure. Right? But now it is clear. I mean, AI has gone everywhere.
Yeah, it's like,
So now we evaluate startups. We look at 1,000 startups a quarter across the entire investing team.
1,000?
We look at.
Ah.
Okay. I cannot think of more than 1 or 2 or 3 in the last several quarters where there's been no element of AI. Right? If you don't have an element of AI in the tech space, you're doing a startup, you won't have a startup.
Which is, I think, very logical and now realistic. Like, if you really want to be there, you need to kind of hop on. So, outside of work, Sanjeev, what brings you real joy? Like, the better question is that, is there like a hobby?
Yeah, I like to read a bit.
Okay.
I'm not sure I get enough time for it. In fact, I stopped reading books.
Acha.
I consume most of my content on the mobile or device.
I think most of us now.
Okay. So I've kind of lost the long form reading habit.
Oh, okay.
That is, I think, a pity. I think I enjoy watching history documentaries. I enjoy watching old movies on YouTube, usually on my mobile. Sometimes on
Old? Which one? How old?
So last movie I saw was Abhi, 2 days ago. Was Groucho Marx movie. I've never seen a Groucho Marx movie earlier. Read a lot about Groucho Marx, but I saw it. It's quite enjoyable. Okay. It is called something Casablanca. Okay, shot around early 50s.
So, yeah.
Early 50s.
Right.
Black and white. Okay. Okay, but then, that's the early comedy in Hollywood. That's, you get to see a little bit of history.
Yeah.
Right? Very interesting. I watch history documentaries.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff.
But time nikal rahe ho aap, matlab thoda bahut.
And snatches kabhi kabhi.
हाँ. Hitesh, how do you unwind after like a long day? या आप नहीं disconnect ही नहीं होते कभी?
No. I get up early.
Oh.
Okay, and
I often get emails from Hitesh at 4:45 in the morning.
Yeah, I was.
but he replies also. So, right. So, I think, so then I do some email and WhatsApp and reading till about 6:37. Then I go and for last 3-4 years, I've been become a regular at tennis.
Okay.
And that's, and I look forward to it. I used to run and swim a bit earlier, but I never really enjoyed it. I just
There was a era with the bicycles also.
Yeah. So for about 10 years, I did all
Yeah.
that, but I did it just for fitness. I never really enjoyed it as much, but I love playing tennis. I look forward to it. I've been doing it for the last 3-4 years. And then I come at work, and then in the evening, I sort of chill out a little bit, watch a little bit of Netflix, read The Economist. I love reading The Economist. So, Yeah.
But interesting.
Talk to my wife.
Away from the time, yeah.
She complains other thing.
Important. Very critical. And is there like Sanjeev with you, is there like one quirky or like a daily ritual habit kind of a thing that
Daily rituals here, but
Yes,
what,
like a crossword or maybe like a music piece which has to be heard or
I sometimes do the
meditate something?
sometimes I do have a yoga person coming
Okay.
mornings. I do some meditation. Okay, and I've been doing it now for a year or two. So that's become a habit.
And that's helping you like stay grounded and
I don't know. It doesn't work instantly. So
I feel like
less ungrounded than I might have been otherwise. I don't know. I don't know. What karta hu?
and see, I'm like just tempted to ask, like, is there anything that you would want to say that okay, मैंने ये हितेश से सीखा, like this is one thing that I
So I think Hitesh का जो execution focus है.
okay.
So I generally get 3 ideas a day. So महीने में हज़ार हो जाते हैं. So if anything, I can be accused of trying to not being focused. And Hitesh got this razor sharp focus, which
That's just and one thing that you want to change about him?
Lots of things. What do you say?
nothing. It's nothing. Nothing.
Not for public consumption, huh?
Yes. Nothing.
Hitesh, anything that you learned from Sanjeev? I'm sure that
I don't know. I would credit Sanjeev with having introduced me to the idea of concept of entrepreneurship. So, like, a lot of people, I grew up in a middle class family, went to IIT. Nobody used to be in business. So, I remember Sanjeev used to teach at IMS. So I was preparing for my MBA. This thing in entrance, and sorry, I got a call, so I was preparing for the interview.
Okay.
So I took some coaching from MIS.
Okay.
So IMS was into sort of MBA coaching at that time. So I went for some classes, and so Sanjeev was there, so I met Sanjeev. So I said, "Yaar, kya mera interview hai? Kya kar?" He said, "Yaar, tu main kya bolu?" Because one of the questions they used to ask, people used to tell. See, it was a very different time.
The convention.
So it was always like, what do you
93.
where do you see yourself in 10 years, 20 years? So these are the standard questions which you had to prepare for her. I was told, I said, pata nahi yaar, mujhe kya hai? He said, tu bol rahe hai, I want to be an entrepreneur. I said, Achha.
Oh, that's the tip he gave.
So that I was in college,
long ago.
right? So you would tell them that you want to be an entrepreneur. I said, Achha, ye kya hota hai? Business karenge. Good idea. So I went. So luckily in my first interview, so I got calls from all the IIMs.
ठीक.
So in my first interview, they didn't ask me this.
अच्छा.
They asked me some other questions which were difficult, but they didn't ask me this. The second IIM interview, and without naming the IIMs, etc.
Yeah.
So he said, Achha, what do you want to do in life? Okay. So what do you want to become after you graduate?
This I'm ready with.
No. So I said, I want to be an entrepreneur. So he said, you want to be an entrepreneur? I said, yes. He said, thank you, sir. So much the interview is over. I said, why? He said, yeah, we teach management. We're not about entrepreneurship. So I thought, I was told in those days, कि यार थोड़ा stress entry होता है कभी they check you out, they test you, ये वो. तो मुझे लगा this is a stress interview moment. So I was like, kept sitting there.
He refused to go.
I said, maybe there'll be another question. Maybe I could do something else. So then they again said, thank you, the interview is over. I was zapped.
That it's really over.
And
like,
actually,
am I supposed to?
And I was called back. It was over. I didn't get a final call also. So that was my...
Like, give him bad advice. I think bad advice, yeah. But it's such a noble thing to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But then I checked with a lot of other people who were in that...
What is the right thing to say? Yeah.
And I was like, outside, I was waiting. I was like, kya ho raha hai? Because, there was multiple interview panels.
Correct.
And every panel had 3 interviewers. And there were 8-10 people, for every panel to interview.
Correct.
And by the time the other panels had reached the second person or third person, all 10 were out.
And none of the 10
I don't know what happened.
None of the 10 were.
There is a panel.
So I was like, that.
ये क्या हो रहा है? Nice. I've got like a quick rapid fire round going, okay? And we'll go to Sanjeev first and then move to Hitesh. So Sanjeev, one fun fact that not many people know about you.
I don't go to a hairdresser for getting my hair cut. I clip my hair at home. I don't know if it's fun or not, but it's a
Since
fact.
the pandemic or before that also?
Last 15 years.
Acha.
समय बचता है.
Okay. If you could instantly learn like a new skill, what would that be?
Programming.
Oh. And your leadership style in one word?
Consultative.
Okay. Success in one word?
Happiness.
Huh? Nice. One movie that you would want to watch over and over again?
Sholay.
Ah, evergreen. All right. Hitesh's turn. Nice. Thank you, Sanjeev.
But
That
he
was-
knows the questions, right?
He knows the question. Very
That's
good.
cheating.
No, but he's okay with that.
Am I okay with it?
Sanjeev, Hitesh, one fun fact not many people know about you.
I Amitabh Bachchan fan.
Not many people know about him?
I mean, if you know him, you know that.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
okay. If you know it. But you know, Hitesh is this big Bollywood, music
Often, yeah.
music kind of guy, and so every time there'd be a office
Get
party,
together and
there'd be Antakshari,
How
and
nice.
Even though I can't sing.
yeah, this is okay.
and he would say, "Ye Jeena bhi koi Jeena hai lallu."
Not that. But
No, not that. What's that song, yaar? That ek tha, that chooha.
Jahan Char Yaar.
Oh, that's it.
Jahan Char.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sharabi.
And then if you could instantly learn a new skill, what would that be? The obvious answer now. Okay. It is your leadership style in one word.
Participative.
And success in one word?
Responsibility.
Okay. One movie that you could watch over and over again?
Laksh.
Ah, the Hrithik Roshan one. Wonderful. Wow, that brings us to the end of our chat. And I really wish to thank you because I know how busy your schedules are. It was genuinely like a pleasure and very insightful. I'm sure the viewers who would watch this podcast would equally kind of, find this very rewarding. Thank you very
Hey,
much.
thanks so much. Yeah, it's been
Thank
wonderful.
Thank
you
you.
very,
It
very
was
much.
great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you.